Good morning, Jamie. Good to see you. Hello, Bonnie. Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody is great there. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome. Good morning, Irene. Great to see you. Glad you are here. Good morning, John. Hello, hello. Good morning, Vicky. How are you? Good morning, Amy. Hello, hello. So, we're having coffee today. Oh, so good. Deanna, how are you? Great to see you here. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Kristen. Great to see you this morning. Robin Carden, Robin Carden, Robin Carden. It's like Beetlejuice at this point. Hey, Jackie, good to see you coming this morning. Amy, how are you? Rainy day from Portland, Maine. Vicky, good. I'm so glad you're having a good time. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, hi. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing good. You too, Cecile. I hope you are well. Good morning, everybody. It is so good to see everybody pile in. Good morning, Yvette. Yvette's holding down the fort today. She's getting ready to get the newsletter out. So if you have an interest in getting the newsletter, make sure you give the office a call today, and she will get you on our either email or hard copy list. There's a little commercial for our newsletter. Hey, Donna. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see everyone. Good morning, Gail. How are you? Great to see you. Stir crazy, looking to escape. Yes, understood. Yep. Chris has been in quarantine for 14 days, so that we really have kept, Chris and Ryan and everything, we've all kept to the four walls, and we have been, everybody's doing great and feeling great now after after a few days of breaking loose, but they got out for their first walk yesterday, so it was a little we were kind of reenacting scenes from Shawshank Redemption, so it's good news here. Good morning, Sue. Great to see you. Hope you and the fam are well. Good morning, Maggie. Hi, Deb. Great to see you. Hope you are holding well. We are all well here. Thank you for all of your care. Bob Guinan. Good morning, Robert. Good to see you. All right. Good morning, everybody. So glad you're here. We're continuing to journey on the Thursday. It is Thursday, the 2nd of April. So we managed to make it through the 32nd of March. And so today I want to talk about, everyone is saying, tell Chris and Ryan hello. Hello, Chris and Ryan. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
If I could find a safe space, I'd pack our bags and be off. We are good. Wishing away the rain for today. I know the rain makes it all the more. Good morning, Denise. Great. So glad you're here. It's so good. So good. Thank you, everybody, for being here. All right. This morning I want to talk a little bit about yes and no. So yes and no, these two words, they're probably the two most powerful words in your entire life. They're the most powerful words you will ever exercise in the world. They're the most powerful words in your lexicon of all the words of the words. I don't think it's I love you. I don't think it's the things that you're scared of. I think it is what we say yes to and what we say no to. And I think there's power in this. There's beauty in it in our life. And so Jesus has these words to say. He says, this is from the 5th chapter of Matthew. This is a part of the Sermon on the Mount. This is the piece of the sermon. It says, and again you have heard that it was said to those in ancient times, you shall not swear falsely, but carry out the vows you have made to the Lord. But I say to you, do not swear at all, either by heaven, for it is the throne of God, or by earth, for it is the footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make one hair white or black. Let your word be yes. Let your word be yes, yes, or no, no. Anything more than this comes from the evil one. Hey, good morning, Gary. Today is Gary's birthday. We're gonna sing to him, by the way. He's a lucky guy. So he's gonna get some birthday love today. We're welcome. So this scripture of where a lot of times it gets talked about in terms of oaths. Now, and oaths were super important in the ancient world. Everything drove off of oaths. Just the way today, kind of a lot of things come off of contract law, like the interaction. I mean, if you think about it, it's very simple. If you drive up to the McDonald's window, you give them your $5, you're expecting to see 2 fillet of fish come back. Like there's this basic interaction of contract law. Well, the oath was very similar to that in the ancient world because it was largely a non-written world. So it's much more verbal. So what you said and what you gave your word to was really important. Just to give you the example, for the Roman soldier in Jesus' day, the enlistment contract. Anybody want to take a guess how long the enlistment contract was? It was 20 years. 20 years with 5 years in the reserves after that. When you were a young man and you said, I want to go into the Army, you went into the Army forever. Like for your adult life. That's what you did. And that oath bound you. And to not keep that oath would get you in serious peril. So when we talk about oaths in the ancient world, it's a super big deal. But what Jesus is saying, not just don't make oaths, but that they're in this. But he says, let your yes, yes, or your no, no, and anything else comes from the evil one. And to me, this talks about like how we are in this world. And what we bind ourselves to, and what we're bound by, and what of those things that we bind ourselves to, and what we say yes to, and what we say no to. The reality is we don't have to get very far down the spiritual path before we are not making decisions between good and evil. Like before we're not like deciding to be one who's just going to try and plotting to take over the world. We're often starting to make much more subtle distinctions. That we're talking about making our yes really yes. That a profound yes. Or something that we can just kind of muddle along with and be okay with. Good morning, Amanda. Great to see you. Glad you are here. And so this journey of moving from the commitments we've made, the oaths we've taken, to the journey of, look, if I'm going to say yes to something, maybe it should be a hell yes. Maybe it should be an exciting yes. And that everything else should fall away. Now, and that's not saying, I'm not suggesting we need to let go of our obligations. No, our obligations are key. But the invitation to this deeper life that Jesus is offering, I think puts us is into this realm of really becoming wildly defined as people. Like to really be who we are, to let our freak flag fly in beautiful and wonderful ways. And that requires us. It requires us to let go of the commitments we've made, to let go of the boxes we placed ourselves in, not to be irresponsible or to not love well or not to keep up with things and not persevere. None of that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I'm talking about stepping into things that are even bigger and more wonderful than we could have imagined before. I want to give you an example of this. I think it's right out of the natural world, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or right or not. But this is the little forsythia tree that's out front right here. This little guy right here, he is getting ready to bloom. I don't know if you can see have another cup of coffee, Andy. That you can see the buds. They're ready to go, but they are not ready to bloom. And yet I took this guy in and I brought this guy in and I put him in some water and I gave him some warm. And he has begun to flourish and begun to bloom. Now, he'll bloom on his own, given time. He'll come to this sense. But there's something about, like, that when this is, and what this is called forcing, that you can force a plant to bloom when you cut it away. And friends, we're all, as Jesus says, like the grass of the field that will one day turn brown. We all and I think that being in the middle of all of this and being separated from all that we are has that a little more in our forefront. And so my hope for you is that you will let your yes really be yes. That you'll let your no really be no. And negotiate the things you're committed to, the things you think you have to do, that have largely been given to you by the outside world, because that's the thing about the oaths, is they weren't things that were yours, they weren't things that you necessarily took on, like they were things that the outside world is putting on you, in terms that you have opened yourselves up to. So let our yes be a hell yes, and let our no be a hell no. Let us not do the things that in this kind of unhinged time, in this space between what is, let us build our next life that is to come when we walk out of this place, when we actually get free, when we get to bust out. Let us bust out like this big yellow forsythia right here. Let us bust out. And let us not spend our energies. Yes, Vicky, learning to know, it may be the most important word we learn for some of us. Yes might be the most important word, but either one of those is going to be our real invitation and important journey in this world. So I want to end today with a little story that it comes from it comes from a book called the Spoon River Anthology, but it's supposedly the Spoon River Anthology is this book by Edward Lee Masters, who ended up writing nothing but little poems about different people in Spoon River, and so the whole entire book is nothing but little poems about different people. And one is Fiddler Jones. And supposedly hey, Ian and Kim, great to see you. We are so sorry to hear about Pedro. Seriously, you've been on my heart. I mean, I can't imagine being in the middle of this and being with my furry guy and having to kind of contend with a household with him not being here. So our hearts go to you for sure. So the Spoon River Anthology, Masters writes this one poem about this guy called Fiddler Jones, and I don't know if it's true or not, but there's an apocryphal story of where this comes from, because a lot of the people that he used was from different people, and it is supposedly this Civil War soldier who was found on the battlefield with a note pinned to him, and he was known as Fiddler Jones because he was the fiddler of the unit. Every unit had fiddlers in them. They had somebody that played music and in that era that was just vital and critical. And so Fiddler Jones was killed, and he had, and as often was the case, that soldiers would pin notes to themselves for as they went into battle, so that should their body be found, they would know where to send it, or who to contact, or just a thought at the end of their life. And so if the note on Fiddler Jones was unclipped and opened up, and it said, "I have nothing left but a broken fiddle, 1,000 memories, and no regrets." Friends, let your yes be yes. Let your no be no. And live this life with the fullness of a Fiddler Jones, that you may end your days with nothing but a broken instrument, 1,000 memories, and no regrets. That's my hope for all of you. We do have one piece of business left. It is Gary's birthday, and so we're going to sing happy birthday to Gary. So I think Gary's, 29 this year? I know next year will be tough, but you hang in there, Gary. So, all right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gary. Happy birthday to you. That's actually Chris. Hey, you. All right. Thanks for being here, friends. It is a gift to journey with you. It is a gift to see all your little faces come up, and however they may be, they are an escape for me in these days. They are a linking to the wider body, and for us being a joy together. I do want to remind you of one last thing, that if you are continue to be hungry for other outlets, my friend Jeremy does a check-in with his church that is always worth looking at. He is at Salem United Church of Christ in Illinois. You can find him on the Google. My friend Robin at Sutton's Bay Congregational Church does a great children's show. She is channeling Mr. Rogers. It is a great show that I encourage you to catch at 2:00 Thursday through Friday, or Tuesday through Friday. And then Seth Jones up in Rockland, Maine, he is doing a Bible study on Exodus, and not just Exodus, on the plagues. So how fun is that? So anyway, these offerings are out there as well. So if there's more cowbell, bunk, bunk, bunk. All right, please don't be disconnected. Reach out. Be thankful for something every day. Care for each other. Offer something good, and let your yes be yes, and your no be no. All right, thanks, friends. Happy birthday, Gary. So I hope it is a great one. I'll hang out in the chat for a while if anybody wants to catch up. All right, take care, gang.